Welcome to the United States of Tiffany. Our commentary offers a humorous take on wrestling. Please note, we're not bullying or attacking the wrestlers. We're engaging with the choreographed sport and its storylines. Our jokes and observations are about the characters and storylines, not the real people behind them. Tourists and citizens alike, welcome. Enjoy the show, and remember, it's all in good fun.
All right, my beautiful people, hello. I hope you guys have had time to watch Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw did come on today at 3 rather than its regularly scheduled programming, which is at 8 o'clock. Next week on April 7th, Raw will be at its regularly scheduled program, which is at 8 over on Netflix. So you can watch it now, and everybody who misses Raw or likes to watch it live because it comes on Netflix. Netflix airs it when it goes live. They don't wait for the US audience like USA Network does. We still have a overseas show left for SmackDown, so you will get spoilers on the internet for SmackDown if you are not if you're watching SmackDown this week. They're still going to be overseas apparently. And so if that's the case, you're going to get spoilers. Spoilers come across the internet all the time. Okay, you just have to learn how to avoid them. Stay off of Twitter. Twitter is probably your biggest cesspool. If you follow accounts that spoil these things, I would highly recommend that you not look at them for that particular day. Okay? With all that being said, let us get into the mess that was Monday Night Raw, shall we? Monday Night Raw kicked off with none other than John Cena. This is his third week of headlining Monday Night Raw in this overseas tour. And of course, we expected nothing more than the same regurgitated bullshit that we got from John Cena time and time again. What we didn't expect was for everybody to be on their P's and Q's, and we get some real shit going. Okay, we got some real shit going this time, which I love that for us. I am not going to give you a full play by play of this promo. It was long, and both men cut each other real deep. Okay, by John Cena referring to Cody as nothing but a chauffeur, saying that he couldn't do nothing better than to wipe his ass. He said that he was a second rate, pieced together superstar that was just a hand picked amalgamation of what a superstar should be, and Cody didn't deserve it. He didn't earn it. He went shit. And Cody said that John was the epitome of a company, man. He can't call himself somebody who put this place together. When he left it in shambles, it was in shambles when Cody got here. And if Cody hadn't got there, basically he pieced this bitch together. Cody was like, you didn't clean your motherfucking room for your left, bitch. You left this motherfucking place in goddamn disarray. And I had to come in here and clean this shit up. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Cody and John went back and forth. It was a full on back and forth. And I have to say, This is something that all wrestlers, current LFG superstars, NXT superstars, evolve. This is something that y'all need to study because this is how you cut a promo on someone who is light years ahead of you when it comes to being able to have wit, and they are quick on the microphone. And John Cena is known for not being disheveled. He is very easily able to come back and get the last word, but he didn't this time. Cody got the last word, and he was able to knock John Cena off his rocker. Outside of kayfabe, like I said, this is something that you should study. It's a master class in how to cut a promo. People are going to talk shit about you all day long, but you have to have a mindset where you understand where people are going to come from, and then you have to pivot. John Cena is a good example of how you pivot in a situation where you are getting beat. If we're being fair, Cody cut him real deep. Cody cut him deep, but John Cena was ripping his ass to shreds. When I say John Cena damn near destroyed Cody, if Cody was anybody else, this would be problematic. Not even trying to be funny. Like, I would love to see this version of John Cena cutting down a Roman Reigns, cutting down a Seth freaking Rollins, because it seems like John is very good at stripping you to your core. And he did that to Cody today. When I tell you, I was flabbergasted. Okay. John Cena needs to teach classes. He definitely needs to buy a piece of stock in WWE and be in the back teaching promo classes, because even though CM Punk is great at what he does, he is sensational. We love CM Punk for his mouthpiece. Everybody loves CM Punk for his mouthpiece, right? John Cena does not get enough credit for that. He does not get enough credit for that. And he is right when he says that he can rip somebody to shreds. He damn near did. The thing is, though, Cody was prepared, and that's the problem. Cody was ready. Cody heard, let him say what he said. And to be fair, John Cena made some valid points about Cody being too polished, always prim and proper. And John Cena said, I told you, you need to be authentic, because they can see right through your facade. They can see right through your bullshit. And Cody was just like, and he was like, you don't even know who you are. And Cody was like, oh, well, who the hell knows who they are? Who the hell knows? He was like, I can tell you what though, and he ran it down. So like this right here, a great promo cut between two greats, one potential greatness being built and the other's greatness already solidified in stone. Like, I am very, very happy with this particular promo. And I hope that going forward, it gets more physical. Because in the end, all Cody had to say was the fans think that John Cena can't wrestle. And that's what triggered John Cena to get physical. He eventually targeted Cody. He pretended like he was gonna leave and did it, and he ended up suffering a crossroads for it. Now I know for a fact that Johnny Boy is gonna get a receipt. How he's gonna get his receipt is gonna be the interesting part. That's what the girls is interested in. Okay, so we're not gonna, dwell too hard on everything that happened on Monday Night Raw, but I'm gonna make it very clear. Tyler Bate returned to Monday Night Raw this week, and I was so happy to see Tyler. Tyler had a haircut. He looked good. He looked like he had been working out. I was so excited to see Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate and Pete team back up to go back to New Catch Republic, which I love New Catch Republic. So I was happy that they were back in a tag team. What pissed me off is that Adam put them in this tag team. Okay. They all out there, they wrestling. This is Tyler's first match back. It's his first match back. And it is also their hometown, right? And like, I don't expect people to be hometown heroes. I really don't. I do expect, though, when somebody comes back from injury, that they get a fair shot. And they didn't give Tyler Bate a fair shot. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne ended up suffering a pin to the New Day. I don't understand why. I'm very confused. Quite frankly, I would rather watch Ivar and Eric go up against New Catch Republic than to watch them face off against New Day. New Day's just gonna cheat, get the titles back, and then we're gonna be stuck listening to them bitch and moan for 2 or 3 months. And I really just don't want to hear that. Although I know a lot of people like New Day as a heel as they are right now, me personally, I find them to be irritating. There's nothing redeemable of quality about the New Day in terms of their heel work, but I guess because I don't care or I'm irritated by it, they're doing their job. I'm just not here for it. I don't want to see them with the tag team titles. I wouldn't want to see them with the tag team titles if they were faces. If I'm being honestly fair, I don't want to see them with the tag team titles. Just like I love Jimmy and Jay, I don't want to see them with the tag team titles either. So it is what it is. They can do whatever they want, but I'm not going to be paying attention to it if that's the route that they decide to go down. The problem I had with this match was they could have gave this W to Tyler and to Pete. New Day would have found a way to get the title shot one way or another, and they could have served up another team. Judgment Day was right there. I really don't care that they had a match today with Penna and Braun Breaker, and I'm going to tell you why that was unnecessary in a second. They could have used Alpha Academy, and I hate to serve them up on the platter, but they could have used Alpha Academy. They've already beaten Alpha Academy. They beat LWO. They're not using them. They're not doing anything with LWO, which I hate that for Raul and Joaquin because they're really good and they don't really give them a lot of play, and I don't like that. But they could have served up anybody except for Tyler and Pete. Like Tyler and Pete just got back together. Tyler just got back from injury. Like Tyler's been gone for quite some time. Let them compete. You know what I'm saying? Let them fight. Triple H got to do better with booking this tag team division, and he definitely has to do better with his Latina talent. Like I love Triple H, but sir, you got some work to do. All right. So now that we done talked about this for a little bit, we done got that out the way. Let's talk about Jimmy and Gunther. This particular match started off not necessarily with the match itself, but more so with Jay Uso. Jay Uso was very worried and concerned, rightfully so, for his little brother, and he wanted him to, you could go out there, you got this, but I want you to be careful. I hear you. I just want you to be careful. Um, And so Jimmy was confident, and Jimmy went out there and had a decent match with Gunther. This wasn't a full on squash match. Gunther and Jimmy were fully competing against each other. But the beatdown that Jimmy suffered via Gunther was brutal, not only because of the antics, but because of the way it was done. Gunther ran and then pretended like he was leaving, only to come back and attack Jay and Jimmy from behind. He then tried to slam Jay on the steel steps, but he was stopped by security, to which he attacked the security. Adam still didn't come out there. The only people that were out there was Jason Jordan, which is a producer, some of the refs, and then the medical team that was trying to get Jimmy out of there. They ended up dispersing and leaving. The other refs were over there tending to Jimmy, and Jay was just laid out in front of the apron. After the security dispersed and the producers kind of backed away from Gunther, he went after Jay Uso and got the zip ties and zip tied him to the ropes. And this is where the viciousness of Gunther came into play. He brutally beat the crap out of Jimmy Uso, hitting him with that belt, and then he beat him up so bad that he bled everywhere. When I say he bled everywhere, he bled everywhere. He bled all over Gunther, and Gunther relished in it. That was disgusting. It was blood everywhere. When I tell you it was blood everywhere, it was blood everywhere. Gunther brutalized that man's brother. He damn near killed him, which we all knew was going to happen, but it was bad. When I say it was bad, I mean it was bad. Jay Uso was zip tied to this rope, having to watch his brother be beaten senselessly. It was pretty heartbreaking. I can't even lie. I didn't like this at all. I knew the beatdown was coming. I didn't think it would be like this, but this is how Gunther ended his night, covered in Jimmy Uso's blood, and Jay Uso was still zip tied to the ring. Meanwhile, they're tending to Jimmy, and Jay is still zip tied to the ring rope. He was not untied. The only time Gunther backed off is when the rest of the producers came out there, along with Adam Pearce, to get him out of there. And here's the thing, the theatrics of it all is crazy to me because y'all watch this man zip tie Jay to the damn ropes, and then y'all stood there on the outskirts of the ring and watched him beat the hell out of Jimmy, and watched him made him make Jay watch him beat the crap out of his brother. Y'all watched him do this. If y'all had stayed in the back, I probably wouldn't say anything because it is what it is.
You similar topics thing.
But it is, but it wasn't like that. Y'all dead ass let him get his ass whooped, and you made Jay watch him do it. Nobody came down there with no pliers, no scissors, no knife, no nothing. He was stuck to that ring the whole time. If I was Jay Uso, Gunther wouldn't live past next week. That's just me. That's just me. Like, you would not be able to live past next week, bro. Like, you guys to go. Period, point blank. You have to go. Because there's no way. Now, there were no, like, women's matches on this card except for Bianca, Io, and Rhea. That was the only women's match we had. Now, Lyra Valkyria talked to Kathy, I believe, and Lyra made it clear that Bayley was the next person in line to face off against her for her Intercontinental Women's Championship. Meanwhile, Liv and Raquel are in the back plotting and scheming on Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Let's keep it all the way funky. Liv and Raquel attacked Lyra after the match. Because Lyra won the match, Liv and Raquel went on the attack. Bayley came out to save Lyra. This was last week, if I recall. Now you in your feelings and in the back plotting and scheming for what? You lost Cobra back. Okay? Like, you should have won the match. Like Finn said. Sorry. There's always next time, bitch. Like, what you mean? Like, what? Girl, you didn't have that same sympathy when you stole them titles from Bianca and Naomi. You didn't have that. So don't get mad because you lost the title to Lyra. Lyra beat you. Move the fuck on. As a matter of fact, Cobra back, you and Jaws both are at the back of the line. Okay? Both y'all hoes. Anyways. Then when we saw Alpha Academy, they was in Adam's office because Chad Gable went in there talking about El Grande Americano, like, oh yeah, when I want to go up against him one day in the ring. Oh, he was like, oh yeah. Adam's like, yeah, but babes, you're sick. Can't do that. And he was like, it's a damn shame too, because Raw's in Minneapolis next week. And he was like, oh, my hometown. They're in my hometown next week. He was like, that's right. But doctor's orders, you're not allowed to compete. You have to be cleared. Adam, I'll be ready to go by next week. Don't worry about that. I know how to get myself healthy. And I was like, well, you should have been worried about that while you were in overseas in Europe, but you weren't concerned with that. You were only concerned about making sure that you tried and did to humiliate Dragon Lee in his match with El Grande Americano. When we all know it's you, bitch. We know it's you. Shit. Anyways. Went all the way to Mexico only for you to say you ain't got nothing. Baby, please. Anywho, he claims he was going to be ready to go by next week. And Adam was like, you're not cleared. I'm going with the doctor said. That's it. That's all. So, Chad Gable's a little miffed because he won't be able to perform in front of his home crowd. And when Alpha Academy walked in, he he decided to be petty and childish and call them names, which is just, it just has no bearing on anything. It doesn't change the fact that you are still a loser. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the fact that you're a loser, Chad. Anyways, we saw Judgment Day making their plans up against Braun Breaker and Penna. Penna and Braun Breaker are supposed to be in a tag team today, facing off against the Judgment Day. And for the most part, in their match, they did okay. It wasn't a bad match between them. It looked like they were ready to go. Like they did pretty damn good. The only problem is there was a miscommunication. Finn moved out the way, and Penna ended up eating a spear from Braun Breaker, and this caused a breakdown in their match. And of course, Judgment Day picked up the win. Now, this is the second week in a row that Judgment Day has laid out both Penna and Braun Breaker. And I know they're gonna make this into something for Mania, or at least that week of. And I'm sorry, but I don't want to see that. I want to see Braun Breaker face off against Penna and let that be it. Finn done had his opportunity and he lost. Even when he had help, he still lost. We're done with this. Find something else for Judgment Day to do. Judgment Day needs to be disbanded. Okay? They need to be gone. Gone. Ugh. Anyways, they could have easily used Carlito and they could have easily used Carlito and Dominic to go up against New Day if they wanted to for a potential tag team opportunity. But for you, it just seemed unnecessary to do this tag team shit with Finn and Penna and Braun Breaker. Like you could have had a segment out there where Braun Breaker is talking and he's just like, I don't need Penna's help or whatever. Penna's like, bitch, I don't need your help either. You know, whatever. Like you could have did this in a different way where it didn't have to be so cliche. The two of them are not friends in any way, shape, or form. They never have been. You could have added animosity to their feud by simply adding animosity to their feud without the heavily produced let's be a tag team, will they coexist bullshit. Was it a perfectly well placed spirit? Yes. Is it probably going to work to add fuel to the fire? Yeah, but it's a cheap way to do it. There are other ways to do this. Like I said, this could have been a backstage vignette. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's get to Maxine and Alpha Academy. And Maxine said, look, I want to talk about the tag team division with Tozawa and Otis. And of course, Adam was like, sure, let's talk about it. But she was like, I also want to talk about my own career. Like, I've been talking to Natalia, and I feel like we could work as a tag team. And Adam was like, okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's get this thing rolling. So they sat down to talk. That's why we've been seeing Natalia and Maxine talk for the last couple of weeks, because they have been planning to be a tag team, and that will help get Natalia back on TV. And of course, let Maxine be in a race for something different, because she's never held a championship in WWE. All right. They showed us a rehashing of the contract signing between these three, and it took up a little bit of time on the show. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was a good contract signing. It set up things to leading up to Friday, of course, and what we're gonna get at Mania. I don't think we had to rehash it for Monday, but of course they did. Now Seth is scheduled to be in Minneapolis on next Monday, so that's a good thing. We love that for them. And I'm sure CM Punk's probably going to show up and do some, ruining. Last but not least, we have. Did I take notes this time? I did take notes. Let me make sure I gave y'all all my information. Okay. Yeah, we talked about this. We talked about everything. I had everything cool. Now, Pat and Michael will be hosting the Hall of Fame ceremonies this year. They're going to be the host. Pat's show for Mania is sold out, but they opened up 1,000 seats in Philadelphia. So if you still want to go to Pat's night out, then you can. I'm so mad at that man for stealing my shit. Um, you could go to Pat's night out, I guess it's called, and go chill with them and a special guest that are supposed to be there. But let's get into it. Okay, let's get into this matchup. Bianca Belair was set to be the special guest referee for Io Sky and Rhea Ripley's match. And it went off without a hitch for the most part. Bianca did her job and counted and called the match down the middle, fair and square. Where things started to have a problem is when the match began to break down. Bianca Belair was getting 2 counts, and to be fair, she was counting correctly. Rhea Ripley being frustrated, overly frustrated during this match because she knows she's never beaten Io Sky and Io Sky has something held over her. She is desperate to win this match and prove that she can beat her. However, she is letting her emotion get the best of her and causing her to act out in unrealistic ways. She seems to be more concerned with Bianca counting correctly than actually doing her job and keeping Io Sky pinned down. During this match, there was a miscommunication, and Rhea Ripley kicks Bianca square on the jaw out the ring. Now, common sense will tell you, you kick the girl in the face, okay? She's on the outside on the floor. How is she going to come back in the ring and count for you? Now, Rhea had Io pinned for a 5 count. And when she realized that Bianca was out on the ring, she comes to the edge yelling, talking about she needs to count. And it's like, bitch, you just kicked me in my face. Ho, what do you want from me? This led to them arguing. Bianca got in the ring and counted again. She counted and Io kicked out. This caused some discourse between Rhea and Bianca. Now, as they were arguing, Io gets to the top turnbuckle and double kicks Bianca in the chest. This is the second time that Bianca has been hit by either person in this match. And as the authority in the match, Bianca had the right to kill the match, to make it over. She went to the bell, to the people at the bell, and of course Alicia was like, this match is over. She had the authority. She is the referee. She had the authority to end the match. It ended in a double disqualification, which means nobody won. Io retains her championship, and Rhea Ripley is still titleless. This caused Rhea to go on a full rampage. She attacks Bianca, takes her out. The girls start fighting, and then Io gets involved. Io takes everybody out. They all in the ring, and Rhea gets the drop on Io, and she gets the drop on Bianca. Does a double riptide to Bianca. Once on the mat, and then once from the second turnbuckle. Bianca gets laid out. Now listen, I'm all for a good story, but here's where I have a problem. Number one, Adam should have made this a regular match with a referee coming down. You putting Bianca in the middle of this only caused even more chaos. And you knew it was going to do this. And what really baffled me is that you never sent down a second referee. Every time Bianca got knocked out, there was no other official down there to handle the match, which was unique because usually when somebody gets knocked out like that, a new ref is sent down there if you wanted a definitive answer. But I don't think you did. Y'all are stretching this out, and we already know where this is headed. This is going to become a triple threat at WrestleMania, more than likely for night 2. Charlotte and Tiffany probably going to be on night 1. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I saw a triple threat the moment Io Sky won this championship. And quite frankly, I think, I'm going to be honest, I don't care. I don't mind Io Sky being champ. I don't mind Io going in this match as a champion and having a triple threat with these two. But I really feel like the story is really between Bianca and Rhea. And if you wanted it to go that way, you could have easily kept Io out of it and let Bianca and Rhea have it out at Mania. But I do know that Rhea has always abdicated for her, Rhea, for her, Io, and Bianca to fight it out at Mania. And this could have been easily done. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like something about this was not done right. It was stretched out, and it just makes it very convoluted and messy. However, Rhea Ripley is titleless, but she done took everybody out, and Bianca was laid out for the second week in a row, and so was Io Sky. Now, here's what I expect. This coming Friday on SmackDown, I suspect that John Cena or The Rock, one of them, is gonna get a receipt from Cody. Somebody got to, okay? Because Cody been cooking y'all asses for 3 weeks straight, and this week he laid out your homeboy. So I suspect that The Rock is gonna make some type of appearance in Minneapolis or the following week, because we'll be okay. So this Friday they're gonna be not Minneapolis. I'm sorry, that's Monday Night Raw. This Friday it will be the 4th of April, and then next week it'll be the 11th. That means we'll be 1 week away. So we're actually 2 weeks out from WrestleMania if you don't count this week. Friday will make it 2 weeks out from WrestleMania. We do not have a lot of time. I suspect that The Rock is going to make an appearance either Friday or the week after next, and that's going to start to ramp things up. That's the reason why Cody laid out John Cena this week. More than likely next week or Friday, Cody Rhodes is going to get laid out too. The tit for tat is about to ramp up between Cody and John Cena, and The Rock has to be involved now since he's The Rock's guy. You know what I'm saying? But any whoosies, that was Monday Night Raw. It really was a very simplistic show. There wasn't a lot going on. Not a lot of women's stuff was happening on Monday Night Raw, which is very disappointing because I feel like you got opportunities to do things. It ain't like you don't have women's titles that need to be defended. The Lyra Valkyria is champion. Why is she not defending it at Mania? You got plenty of space. You got 2 nights and at least 2 whole hours to have these titles defended. You know what I'm saying? You got non-title bout. You don't wasted a space with fucking Logan Paul and AJ Styles. Okay, which to be honest with you, I don't feel like talking about them. I have nothing to say other than that was a waste of time to have them on there. It was like 7 to 8 minutes of Logan Paul saying the same regurgitated garbage that he always spews, and AJ Styles trying to make the best of a really bad situation. And honestly, I feel bad for AJ because he deserves better than that. He really does. I don't know what they're gonna do, and at this point, anything that has to do with Logan Paul, I'm more than likely not gonna watch. I have no desire to watch that match or even care who's gonna win. I'm pretty sure they're gonna give that W to Logan, which whatever makes you happy. Anyways, back to the shit that makes sense and matters. You've got non-title bouts with Roman, Seth, and CM Punk, and then you've got title bouts with Jay and Gunther, and then you have um and then you have Cody and John. Um you've got non-title bouts with Randy and Kevin. You have um possibly Jade and Bianca. No, not Bianca, but Jade and Naomi. You have the title shots with Bianca, Io, and Rhea. You've got Tiffany and Charlotte. You have and that's it. You don't really have a lot going on for Mania, and they've already decided that the night one will be headlined by Roman, Seth, and CM Punk. So that even means that Gunther and I believe Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte are gonna go night one. They're gonna take a back seat to Roman, Seth, and CM Punk. So you're probably gonna see Jay Uso and Gunther's match right before that. Charlotte and Tiffany's match will either be at the top of the hour or right before Jay Uso and Gunther's. But that still leaves a lot of room on that card. And we're almost 2 weeks away, 3 weeks out, and there are no title matches booked for the tag team titles, the women's tag team titles, the women's IC title, the men's IC title, the men's US title, or the women's US title. All of those titles should be defended at WrestleMania. There should be no question about that. And if you couldn't come up with a feud for them, that's what tournaments should be for. Like, come on. Y'all have pulled the tournament out of your ass just to determine a number one contender for Braun Breaker, and only for Braun Breaker to get the title back within a week. You feel what I'm saying? Like, y'all could have been doing much, much better than this. Pull it together, Triple H. I know you're getting into the Hall of Fame, and that's an amazing feat, but your ass know better. You know better than this. Oh, anyways, tomorrow is NXT. I don't know what's happening on NXT tomorrow. I'm sure Dark State gonna be doing something weird again. I'm sure Javon gonna be looking for a receipt on Trick Williams, a well-deserved receipt, if you ask me. What else is happening? A bunch of shit. So I hope y'all enjoyed Monday Night Raw. If you didn't, go and watch the replay of the show. It was okay. It was good. I liked the beginning. Like I said, John Cena and Cody had a great back and forth with their promos. Excellent masterclass in how to cut promos, especially on the fly. What else? It's just a lot going on. So it was a good show. I hope y'all watch it if you haven't. Oh, yeah, Jimmy getting beat up by Gunther and all that blood. It was, the blood. It's so much fucking blood. Anyways, other than that, it was solid. Loved everything about it. Oh, I hated New Day, but I was glad that Tyler Bate returned. He had a great showing against them. He looked good. He looked like he was in good shape. He cut his hair again, like I said. He looked nice. I like it when a man is well groomed. And he looks nice. Other than that, y'all let me know what y'all think about the show in the comment section below. I promise I wasn't going to keep y'all long because it wasn't a show that went long for me to sit up and talk about. If I was going long, I probably would be talking about their promo, Cena and Cody's. But they said so much, you really need to go and watch it for yourself. If I could watch it with y'all and kind of give y'all like a full play-by-play of what they said and what I think I would, I definitely won't be able to monetize that, and they probably will stop my video from being circulated, but it is what it is. Anywhoosies, I will talk to y'all Wednesday. We will have a conversation about NXT, and of course, we will talk a little bit about wrestling, and then we'll talk a little bit more about wrestling, and then we'll do a lifestyle questions like we always do. And we got 3 weeks of SBC chat. 3. It's going to be a long night. I'll see y'all then. Bye. Bye. Not that true. Don came in late, y'all. But everybody else was here. Well, Kayla was here with me for a while. So I'll see y'all Wednesday. Don will probably be back Wednesday. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.